Look at, well, I'll just read it to you in 2 Corinthians 12:10. Therefore, I am well content with weaknesses. Let me ask you a question. Are you well content with weaknesses? This is something I struggle with. Now, because you can read this passage and not have any struggle because you're not even understanding what's being said. I know most people are angry and bitter in their heart because they're self-centered and because of unmet expectations, either from others or from God. They want life to be a certain way, and when it's not, they get mad. I know most people are angry and bitter in their heart because they're self-centered and because of unmet expectations, either from others or from God. They want life to be a certain way, and when it's not, they get mad. But to be content with weaknesses, to be content with defects, problems, trials, even afflictions in our own bodies, to be content with that. And then with insults, with distresses, with persecutions, with difficulties for Christ's sake. Now why is he content with it? He says, for when I am weak, then I am strong. The very things that Paul the Apostle says are the useful instruments to weaken him so that it may be strong are the subjects of most prayer meetings to avoid. Most prayer meetings are about avoiding all of these things, or either, if they're going on, to get out of them. And Paul said, I'm content in the middle of them because he had learned something. When he is beyond all hope in himself and it turns him to the Lord Jesus Christ and drawing on His strength, then he is truly, truly strong. Is it not true? I call it, if you want to be used of God, I call it Gideon's call. You're going to have to adopt the procedure, God's procedure of Gideon's call. You say, what is that? Gideon, you're going to save us from the Midianites. Okay, now first look at who he chose. A guy so afraid that he's hiding in a wine vat. And then he goes, Gideon, get an army. Gideon gets an army. God stops Gideon. Problem. What's the problem? It's too big. See, your problem is what? You say, I can't do this. Why? I'm too small. I don't have the talent. I don't have the giftings. I don't have this. I don't have the wisdom. I don't have. God sees all that as advantageous. First of all, it doesn't matter how big of an army you think you can muster, you can't defeat the Midianites. But I can, and when I do it, I don't want you getting the credit for it. But you know what's the terrible thing? Even though God did every conceivable possible thing for the people to see that it was of God alone, and Gideon really had nothing to do with it, they still made Gideon a god. We do the same thing. It really is only His power. It really is.